All right, boys, what we're going to do now is we're just going to go out to 5-star kicking. We'll go to 5 points, and we'll just start it off at about 15 metres kicks, and then we'll sort of lengthen it up once we start to get warmer, right? So 5 points are out. All we've got to do is miss the bloke to your right and hit the next bloke. We all got that?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
With his AFL and WAFL career behind him, Andrew Cracker may have kicked his last goal on the field, but this Sandover medalist says he hasn't yet left his mark on WA footy. Cracker is now the ambassador for West Perth's Djinda Falcons. A first for the club, it's a program teaching footy and life skills to more than 50 11 to 15-year-old Aboriginals.
Initially, it was just getting a bunch of boys coming here to train every Friday, every second Friday. Didn't know what it was going to lead up to, and then eventually we got a game in the NAIDOC round against Swan Districts after the league game. The boys came up and had a run after that, had a bit of a barbecue and things like that. So it was they played in the Indigenous strip as well, which was painted up and made up by Helena Stokes, Port Hedland girl. So she came up with the design, and the boys wore that jumper after the game. So there's a lot of water to go under the bridge, I suppose, from where we'd like to go and where we'd like to get to. But these small steps that we've taken so far have been, really good.
When his time at Collingwood came to an end last season, Cracker returned to Perth. He decided not to head back to his former club, Swan Districts, and instead traded colours to become a Falcon.
Swanee's had a really established Indigenous program in V-Swans. I did some work there in 2010 while I played, alongside Peter Matera and Chris Laws, and Nicole Graves was our supervisor. And we had some pretty good outcomes there, and I really enjoyed the type of work and the role I was in there. So mentoring and with a bit of training and running programs in schools and with football groups as well, under 15s, under 16s, Colts and whatever it was. So I really enjoyed that, and I knew that West Perth didn't have nothing like that. So trying to use my brand as well, and not only be an ambassador, but I wanted to try to be a hands-on person in a program like that. So and try to get something like that up and running in this West Perth region.
Cracker to West Perth. It was the WAFL's biggest headline over the summer, and at the time, Falcons CEO David Croot believed Cracker's signature was worth even more off the field.
And that puts West Perth back in front.
We know how good he is.
With my background in community development, I felt that Andrew could bring a lot to the club off-field, and when sort of as the discussions went along, a lot of people were saying that there aren't any Aboriginal kids up here. What are you doing? They're all English. Hence our international round focus. But then the more people I got to talk with, we thought, there's a lot out at Clarkson Senior High School. There's a lot of Indigenous kids running around, sort of around the Butler, Neerabup area. We thought, this is crazy. We've got to have, an Indigenous program. We've got to have some Indigenous kids come through our development programs into our league side.
At 31, Cracker lined up in 4 senior games this season before calling curtains on his decorated WAFL career. It left the club's senior squad without a single Indigenous player. It's a hole these Djinda boys will one day fill, but churning out gun footballers isn't the primary reason this program was born.
Footy to us, I think, is a really good icebreaker. They all feel comfortable here, especially young boys. It's hard to get them to speak at the best of times. So they all come down, they relax, they play footy. We've had some great people come in and teach them leadership stuff. We're hoping to do so many other things with them. They're going to get some draft testing later on in the year, so they're excited about that. They bring their mates, they bring their families, and they're all part of it.
Djinda is the Noongar word for star. If Cracker is the face of the program, Sharon Kenny is its heart and soul. She's been working with youth in the community for more than a decade. Sharon's seen programs like this turn kids' lives around.
Just confidence, honestly, and for the families, to see all these families here on Saturday. We sat up in the stands and watched down. It was just amazing. It was just watching them. They were just so proud of their boys. They were all part of it. We've got parents that would normally stand back and not even come to training. They were here helping out with the jumpers, up doing the craft stands. It was amazing. It was really, really good.
The free program has been running since May. The kids undertake educational sessions about healthy eating, respect and leadership and Indigenous culture.
We're proud of our culture and we're proud to wear these jumpers on the field and run around with them.
It means that I have roots to go back to my culture and that there's other people who have paved the way for us.
Pride and respect and do the right thing, not only at training, at home, at school, and show that you're a good person. Yeah.
we're lucky enough to have David Croot, the CEO at West Perth. He's really backed us, and I think with his support we can go anywhere, because I would like to see a lot of our boys go on. We've already talked with the Djinda police to try to organise the traineeship. So the boys go in and do a cadetship at 16. So not only do they learn football, they've got a backup later on. We've got university. There's so many things we want to include. Education, not just for the boys, but for their families. They don't realise what's out there.
A lot of people wouldn't know that you're involved in the program like this, and people heard the news that you weren't going to play for West Perth anymore and probably assumed that it was on bad terms. What's the relationship like between you and the club at the moment?
Probably better than it was when I was playing with Bill. Nah, not at all. But it's really good. It's that's one thing I didn't really want to have a bad breakup with the West Perth Footy Club playing wise on field. So I think how David Croot, Jamie Ball, Bill Monaghan, and everyone else involved in the football club, how they've understood and supported my decision fully. I fully appreciate that, and that's why I want to keep my end of the bargain as well. This is what I wanted to do, to come to the footy club, and people might have thought, and initially maybe I thought as well, because I'm not going to play footy, this other part of the agreement maybe is not going to happen. But no, we knew straight away that I was still here to fulfil another need, and this is what the need was. So no, we're in really good terms. Dave and I think David's got me on speed dial, and so have I. So no, we've got a really good, fruitful relationship.
Swan District's out of trouble.
And for the Swan District's faithful, there couldn't be an interview with Andrew Cracker without bringing up the 2010 Grand Final.
Cracker takes the mark.
40 possessions and 4 goals.
51 out, no one in the goal square, and the Sandover medal just kicks it.
It was one of the great individual efforts of all time.
Starling out wide, Cracker again steals it.
Have you watched the tape since then? Have you rewatched it?
I won't lie, mate. I've watched it a couple of cheeky times, bud. But when people usually ask me, I'll say, nah, mate, I haven't seen it. But, mate,
what are your memories from that day?
Oh, mate, it was a blur that day.
There it is! Swans have ended a 20-year drought.
Well, the underdogs, we got beaten by Claremont 2 weeks prior to the game, the grand final, by 70 points. So no one really gave us a chance to win.
To Mitchell, he finds a bit of space. Left footer on goal, it's gone through. The full forward, Chidsey marks and gets his third.
It literally did go down to the last kick of the game, and I was lucky enough it came off my boot.
Swans must mark. Well done. Knocked down by Stevenson. Cracker gathers, shoots, and Swans have won the grand final.
It was a great day. There's no way in the world I would have been able to have the year or play the footy I did without great teammates, great coaches, great people around me. I do get a lot of glory for it, but there's no way I could have done it without great leader. We had a great skipper in Joshy Roberts. We had young Stevie Caniglione there as well. Not a bad kid. He did all right, played his part, I suppose. And just telling names down back, a lot of great players. So I was just very lucky that I was a part of a great group, and I was able to contribute, and play my role for the team.